Now I want to show you all the sounds I like. The first one is getting the harmonics out of the tone fields. As you notice, we have an oval tone field, and we have a long axis and we have a short axis. So what we want to do is we want to put our finger on the long axis, and then we want to hit, like we only, like very lightly, we put it on top of that. We're not pushing, we're just lightly laying it on top of this axis of the tone field, and then we are hitting exactly 90 degrees apart from it. And like this we can get the harmonics out. That's transposable to each tone field we have. And here it's really important that you are precise. You really have to be on the long axis, and you really have to hit on the short axis, because otherwise you won't get the harmonic out. Remember, the one hand which is covering the axis is very lightly on the tone field, and the other one hits like normally to get the sound out. Then what we can also do with these harmonics, we can bend them, which means we are changing the frequency. And that works that we get our harmonics out. And here we want to make sure we really know that this is the sweet spot, this is the spot where we can get the harmonic from. And then we check, yeah, it's here. And then we can push this finger in. And yeah, that is something you really have to be careful with, because you can also push too hard, and obviously it can detune the instrument. So do it with caution, do it with a feeling, and maybe, yeah, you know, go step by step to bend the harmonic a bit more. One of my favorite sounds of the handpan is the knock. I personally knock with this part of my middle finger. It might be that if I knock too hard and too often that the finger starts hurting, then I'm using the finger just next to it, like one of those two fingers, and knock with them. And then as soon as this finger is not hurting anymore, I'm using it again. That's what handpan playing brings along, that you might encounter some spots on your hands which can be painful. Just, you know, make it a bit more softer, change the finger, make a pause, whatever feels right for you. You know, like if you really are into it, then you can't pause, you really want to do it, you really want to keep going. So I can't tell you anything about this, but the knock is a beautiful sound. It can replace the slap, or it can be replaced by the slap. It's a very similar sound. The slap is a bit more bright, and the knock is a bit more soft and a bit more sharp. I do the slap and the knock everywhere where there is no tone field. And also, like, I try to be as far as possible away from a tone field. So I'm not doing it next to the tone field or to the thing. I just try to be in the middle of these tone fields to get the most clear sound out of it. Another sound you can do is to hit the ding with your wrist. So if you do it for the first time, I recommend just let your hand fall. Not putting any pressure, just let your hand fall on the ding. And I use this part of my wrist. There is a little hole, or it goes a bit more in, and with this part I'm hitting the ding. And then the more confident I get with this movement, I can also add some pressure, I can add some strength, but also here be soft with it, because also this can detune the instrument. What is very cool is that you can change the frequency of the body. How you can do that, I will show you how it sounds. You want to close the GU with your legs, or you want to open a bit more. So you can move your leg, and by this you can play around with the frequency. What I also really like is to mute the shoulder, and like this get a really sharp, closed sound. And then you can lift your hand, and you can put it down again, lift your hand and put it down again. And if you do it in the same frequency like you're hitting, you get a wah-wah effect. So what you want to do is to hit the shoulder and then close the frequency again by putting your full hand on the on the one half. You want to cover as much as possible of the tone field you're playing, in this case the ding. So you hit the shoulder, really make sure you're hitting the shoulder, you're not slapping, you're not hitting the tone field. You want to get this sharp sound of the shoulder, and then you close it, and then again. And the more comfortable you get with this movement, the more fluently you can do it. Okay, cool. The same we can do on the tone fields around. So I create a sound, and then I damp it. And this I do in a fluent movement. So I don't want to hit the tone field with the hand which damps it. No, I want to just put it slightly on top, just to cover it. And the other hand really wants to get a clear sound, like the playing hand wants to get a clear sound out of the tone field, and then I cover it. Another way to create the wah-wah sound is to do it with your mouth. We have one beautiful other sound we can make. This is playing a tone field very strongly, and then weaving the sound wave. And that's it. All these sounds, some of them we might use more often, some of them we might use not so often. But if I want to integrate something, or if I want to learn something, if I want to get better in something, I probably don't want to sit 10 minutes there and I do this for 10 minutes. That's like hurting my ears, it's like completely boring. So what I can always do is to play a little groove and then insert a technique. Or the bending. Or the wah-wah on the tone field. And for me, this is already much more playful to learn something new. I will show you a little bit how I do it.